Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Basse, president of AgResource, joined by Scott Yuknis, founder and president of Climate Impact Company. Scott's been kind enough to fly out from Boston to Chicago, and we're glad to have him. Scott, a lot of news about hurricanes and climate change and all the dynamic and variable weather we've had. What do you think?
Well, there's been a couple of learning lessons, I think, coming out of the tropical cyclone season for the North Atlantic. You know, a lot of times we're looking at ENSO, La Nina, El Nino, to say, okay, this is how active the season's going to be. And that's useful, it is very helpful. But another aspect of climate has become very important, and I think folks have heard this. The nature of the North Atlantic has been very warm the last 10 to 15 years, and we saw that again this year, particularly the subtropics and the tropical region. And with this oncoming La Nina developing, low wind shear, so it were perfect ingredients for big hurricanes. And we've certainly had those.
Oh my.
Now the other thing, you know, when we do a seasonal forecast, we talk about numbers of storms we're expecting. Something that's more interesting, I think, and is very obvious this year, is a statistic called accumulated cyclone energy. And what that does is, on a 6-hourly basis, is it measures the strength of a tropical cyclone relative to population. So this year we've had big storms. We've had big storms in the past, but they don't always, you know, hit a high population area. So the ACE index has been very high this year. It might actually break a record. So I think going forward, we need to be more focused on forecasting the ACE index, because that will tell us how active the tropical cyclone season is going to be relative to population. And that's been a big factor over the last couple of months with all these locations being hit by major hurricanes.
Do you all think you can do that? I mean, and you can get the numbers of storms right, but do you have a trajectory of whether it'll be East Coast or Gulf or Mexico? Or
there's no model for that. We can certainly do an historical analog study, but I think to bring more attention to this statistic, of course, will drive research, and we'll have better modeling for that going forward. So I'm pretty excited about that change. I think that'll be very helpful going forward to the markets.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Thank you again. I'm Dan Basse, joined by Scott Yuknis, talking about, of course, tropical developments and climate.